Hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. I want to talk with you real quick tonight about fabrics of time. And I don't mean some kind of Einstein space time continuum kind of stuff, although I dig that. Love physics, astrophysics, Star Trek, all of that. This is not what that's about. What do the fabrics of your clothing tell about the times in your life? And what does it tell us about the different times, different eras in our recent history? Now, I was at a uh, Goodwill yesterday, and I was looking at the men's jackets, and it occurred to me, I was touching the fabric like a mentor taught me to do when looking at suits and suit jackets. See, what was the fabric like? There's a brown corduroy sport coat, and it made me wonder, is that something from the '70s? Was that somebody's jacket in the '70s? Did some guy wear that at his high school prom? Did someone wear that to their son's bar mitzvah? Or you see these lights behind me back here? This is Los Angeles, curve of the Santa Monica Bay, and way back over here is the lights of Mount Wilson above Pasadena, where they look at the stars. So was it some professor's jacket that he'd had for 30 years, and then when he got to the end of his journey, it ended up at Goodwill, going on to someone else? Then there was the classic blue blazer. It's a wool that's a little bit rough to the touch. It's not a super fine wool, but it's not a trashy looking wool. You've seen the men wearing them. They got the gold buttons on them. Thinking, is that a sign of something, where somebody was mid-career, mortgage, family, kids, bills, so they had just a classic affordable blazer that they wore to work every day. And when they got to the end of their journey, there it is being passed on to someone else to help they help a young guy get a start looking sharp on his career as he's getting, redoing that cycle. And there was another jacket. It was a white kind of, it made me think of Miami Vice, that kind of cotton, right? I was looking at it going, was that somebody's fashion jacket that they wore out partying around? Is that what it really was? Something that somebody was doing the Miami Vice thing from the '80s while they were out partying, and now they're in a different season in life, as a grandparent, and they're going, never wearing this again. None of the kids wanted it because it doesn't really go with today's culture. So they passed it on, and there it was hanging. So see all these jackets, 100, 125 jackets lined up along this wall, and going, what are all the stories? And what does that tell about the time? There's a thick wool. It was stiff. It's a tighter weave, a little bit thicker than you'd find someone wearing, thicker than would be comfortable here in Southern California, unless it's in a cold winter days. But is that the kind of jacket that somebody had made custom in the 1950s, 1940s, maybe living in the Midwest? See, my dad had a suit jacket like that. So is that reflecting the cut of the jacket? Look, could be from that here. So the clothing, the look, the material, the cut of the clothing said something different about different eras. Made me think of different decades. It had something that was a real fine wool, kind of more like a microfiber one. Something that's much more recent. Maybe somebody was moving to a season in life, moving to a new location. So as they were saying, you know what, we want to take as little with us as we need, so we'll pass this along and send it off to a place like Goodwill so that someone else can pick it up on their journey and help them get their next few steps along, and they can pass it on to somebody else. So what does your closet say about your life? What does that, what, when you see that, what do these materials say? Stories does that come from? I look here, I can see Malibu over here, and you can't see me because I'm getting out of the light, but Malibu is over here behind me. Woo, way out there, you can see the camera too, is way back here. Got downtown, swinging around. Downtown LA's over here. Pasadena, we can see all the way up East LA County along the mountains from the lights. It's why I like coming up to this spot. I wanted to share that with you. But it's also thinking, a little bit about the stories, eras, how we dress different, how we look different culturally, but also individually. What does that say about the different seasons in our lives? And I remember as a young engineer, I bought these really cheap suits. Now I know how cheap they were. And they looked at, but it took me a couple steps up from where I was, from my jeans and boots that I did driving a truck when I was driving a delivery van, not a big truck, not a big professional driver, just driving a delivery van when I was in high school and college. Took me a few steps up. Then somebody showed me how to shop in the garment district and get clothes I couldn't otherwise afford. And I look at my closet and go, yeah, I can see different eras based on clothes that I picked up when times were tough. Cash was lean. We had other priorities. And when times were good, I still got a couple of those suits, a couple of my power suits hanging there that would cost me thousands of dollars to replace now, custom tailored. And the casual clothes versus the formal clothes, the tuxedo that's of a medium to lower grade wool. It's not the sharpest of tuxedos, but because it's tailored to fit, it looks better than when I'm standing next to a line of guys. He's going, yeah, it's funny. It's great stories, great reflection, and a little bit of learning. But what do your fabrics say about your time? What different things remind you of different eras in history that you admire or don't admire? And what do you learn from that? And what are you going to, from that, what are you going to carry into your week? Because I got thinking about this was starting to prep for, this is a Sunday evening that this is being broadcast live and preparing for the coming Monday morning. And I was thinking, what does this really say? And how does this roll into my week? How could it roll into your week? I hope you have a good week coming up. Hope you're enjoying this summer. Unusually clear for summer, usually in a winter week from this location. Again, it's just a spot with a bench that overlooks the LA basin that I love to come to. And, the electronics, the technology is probably screening out all of the crickets that go in the background. At first, I was concerned they're going to be so loud that it would cause a problem with the broadcast. But thanks to technology, background noise gets screened out pretty good. But it's a wonderful sound. You can hear the crickets as a general background sound, but then a few that are close enough, you can hear the individuals. Sort of like our lives, huh? Sort of like our days. A lot of background noise, few individuals break through. I hope that you're breaking through for the right individuals this coming week, the rest of the year. It's August. Better be planning for 2024 as a business owner, right? We'll have that conversation another time. But for right now, hope you're having an awesome evening. And put in the comments, what kind of fabrics do you have and what do they say about the time in your life? Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. See you on the trail.